Hello class, in this little Excel tutorial I am going to show you how to create your performance level groups. This is the last and final step of your data management and manipulation that you're going to need to do so you can get to doing some analyses and charts and tables for presentation purposes. So, we're all familiar with the concept of performance level groups. We hear terms like below the standard, partially at the standard, above the standard, all the time. And we're going to keep with that similar type of nomenclature for our local assessments. One, it'll give you a way to give you the interpretive ease in comparison for, say, comparing performance on, let's say, the Terra Nova or the SRI with, let's say, something from Reading Streets or any other local assessment. You're going to be using the same language and the same benchmarking language. But in order to do that, you need to categorize and cut your data. So, in order to do that, you need to create your performance level groups. Now, there was obviously a rationale I had you read about standard setting and performance level descriptors, so you can kind of get a good idea that you don't just arbitrarily create cut scores. I mean, well, you can, obviously, but it's helpful to put a little bit of thought and have it be a collaborative effort in making sure the content and difficulty of whatever test that you're going to be splitting has some merit. So let's just say you did that and it was a very refined process and you're confident in it. You need to obviously write down what those cut scores are. And one of the perfect places to do that is in your data dictionary. So what I have here is an augmented example data file in which I took the local reading assessment scores and cut them into 4 groups. And so my below the standard range is 0 to 49, my partially met is 50 to 69, my at the standard is 70 to 79, and my above the standard is 80% or greater. So I need to get this categorical information into my new column that I created here. And what I did here, as I was tinkering around, I thought, well, it'd probably be easiest just to make this column directly next to the raw percent correct data. So just a little tip there. It's probably something you want to do instead of putting it on the far right of the column. So the first thing you need to do is sort your data. Now, if you remember how to do that from a previous tutorial, we're on the home ribbon. We go to sort and filter. We sort from smallest to largest. Lo and behold, there it is. There's our percent correct data for the fall local reading assessment. We now need to input our performance level categories. So obviously our first one for below the standard ranged from 0 to 49. Obviously we have it in the dictionary, so we can always check. But before we do that, because obviously we just want to take this word below and copy it down to our last value of 49, Excel is kind of smart, and it knows that you either have alphabetical data or you have numeric data in your columns. And when you go to sort or do any sort of analysis, Excel is going to by default alphabetize it or sort it from low to high. Well, that doesn't work in our favor for performance level categories because it's completely nominal. So, or there is no effective order in that Excel can see for that matter. So Excel sees just the letters B, P, A, and A, the first letters of our performance letter category. So and any output you create, it's going to sort this by below the standard, then above the standard, then at the standard, then partially met the standard. And obviously that's not very helpful for us. So what we need to do is trick Excel and let it think we have some numeric data. So we're going to drop a 1 in front of the word below. And now we can just bring that down to our last value of 49 and put it in. And likewise for the remaining 3 categories, we'll put in a number 2, and that'll be our partial category. And I'll copy that down, and I believe that goes to a value of 69. We can double check that. Yes, it does. And so our next category is 70 to 79. And that is our at the standard category. Now I'm using short names here. You can add in the full names if you want. That's your call. I just prefer brevity. And here we go. And then our final category for above the standard. We'll copy that in. And there are our 4 performance level groups for the fall local reading assessment. Now, you can obviously do this for any variable. Just remember, sort the raw data first, then create your, enter in your performance level categories. Remember, you need to trick Excel and put in a numeric value. And when we get to pivot tables and pivot charts, you'll see where this trick, if you will be to your advantage. So that's it. That's how you create your performance level groups. I can tell you there is a more mathematical, sophisticated way to do this without without having to recode, is what we're doing here. However, I'm not going to get into it with you. If you are curious about it, just let me know, and I can show you how to do that. But that's it. That's our last data management and manipulation step we're going to do, and we are ready to start analyzing some data.